That's a great question. There's a lot that people can do. I mean, everything from bringing a reusable grocery bag to the store, to not using bottled water, to turning off the lights, to changing a CFL, to weatherizing. So there's a whole host of things that we can do. But in both Seattle, King County, and the state of Washington, transportation is the biggest source of climate pollution in the individual sector. So I would say the absolute biggest and best thing that you can do is to bike, bus, walk, or carpool, and do it as often as humanly possible.
The thing that I try to do as an organization is stay positive about the environment. I think so many times we hear doom and gloom. And so for me, it's just sort of what are the actions I can take in my life? So separate from Earth Core, it's how do I get to work? Do I bike? Do I bus? Do I drive a hybrid? In my personal life, it's trying to do things like we upgraded our furnace at our house, and that actually probably uses as much energy as our car. So upgrading our furnace, using low flush toilets, and just constantly trying to reduce our impact.
The thing that we're always trying to promote is systematic change. That there's stuff that individuals can do, but the most change happens when you get governments, state government, local government, federal government to enact policies which send messages to the market or to utilities or to other folks that burn fossil fuels and tell them that we need to reduce the amount of fossil fuels that we use. So if individuals can support legislation, if they can write their legislators, if they can attend town meetings, if they can go to public hearings and other stuff, that is really the strongest thing that you can do as individuals to affect climate change, is by helping to enact these big, systematic, economy-wide changes in the way that we use fossil fuels.
I guess that's the magic question, right? And I think the bottom line is we don't really know. I mean, we can look at a number of trajectories. They're always going straight up, and most scientists agree that we need to reduce our climate pollution 80% by the year 2050. But I think for a lot of people that number just feels so like, that's 80% by 2050. That's not my reality. So it's so I think that it's good to have those goals, because I think it does put some kind of timeline on what we're looking at. But we need to be as aggressive as humanly possible every single day of our lives. I mean, that's the bottom line. We need to be constantly pushing the envelope on the kinds of legislation that we're trying to pass. We need to constantly be doing those little things in our own life. I mean, if you take the bus twice a week, make it 3 times, make it 4 times, So I think that, I think timelines are good, and 80% by 2050 seems to be sort of the magic number that our scientists agree on. I think the reality of our day-to-day life is we need to be pushing as hard as we can every single minute of every single day. And to do anything less than that is probably will not put us on a trajectory to being successful.
Absolutely. I was just talking to somebody recently, and what they essentially said was over the past 100 years, we've damaged the Earth at an unprecedented rate. And a lot of that is due to just how we've built communities in an unsustainable way. And so the next 100 years is our opportunity to solve those problems. And as we solve those problems, I think there's going to be some loss, and that's unfortunate, but we need to, again, stay focused on the positive. And I think we can create solutions, and we can help the Earth to heal.
Yeah.
You think so?
I think it's foreboding. It's not. I mean, I'm positive about it, but at the same time, there's just such a there's a lot of work to do. And these folks are. There are opponents to this, in the fossil fuel industry, the gas and oil companies, coal companies and stuff, who don't want this to happen because they have a vested interest in continuing the status quo and seeing it continue to happen. They have a lot of money and a lot of political power. So And then we have developing countries who are aspiring to be like us, and so they're buying a lot of cars and building a lot of factories, and they're trying to make their lifestyle where they're burning as much fossil fuel as we do. It's not really conscious on their part to go pollute the atmosphere, but at the same time, when we model this kind of behavior that where we drive a lot and we eat foods from faraway places and we build sprawling subdivisions that require cars to go around and stuff like that, it means that they see that and they want to do it too. So one thing we have to do is set a better model. I mean, the answer to trying to if there's hope for dealing with it, is to try to get everybody on the planet to be kind of on the same path of reducing their fossil fuels and looking or using some more sustainable practices in their lives and in the way that they run their economies.
I would simply encourage everybody to do what they can and to do more, to feel good about what each of us are doing, but also to challenge ourselves to do more. And I know as a parent of 2 young kids, I sort of look at it as, how do I look my kids in the eye and say, I did whatever I can to make the world a better, healthier place for them.
Yeah, it's those Jersey boys.